Hey, Blessed Tribe, it's Coach Jess. I'm back again today with another mental health motivational word. I hope you guys have been having a fabulous, fabulous weekend. And I want to just welcome all of my new subscribers, all of my returning subscribers. I just love you guys. Whenever I'm feeling down in the spirit, whenever I am not feeling well in my body, whenever, I try to think about positive things going on in my life, I immediately think about my channel, my family, my friends, and just how God has just elevated me in the spirit. So I hope that you guys are able to get a little bit of this abundance that I'm receiving in your own personal lives, especially while you are investing your time and your energy into my channel. So I'm hoping that you get some value from the channel and that you keep coming back each and every video. So I just want to thank you guys for supporting me. I love you, and you guys keep me motivated and encouraged because this work is not easy, okay? So today's word is going to be guard your heart. So I actually got this word because God was dealing with me. And before I can get on here and give you guys any prophetic word, any motivational messages or anything like that, God deals with me first. He deals with the messenger first. So he was just basically communing with me on last night while I was feeling some terrible, terrible pains in my body. I just wasn't feeling myself. I was, just depleted and exhausted. So I needed to rest. So God was saying, first, you need to listen to your body when it speaks to you. When it says it's tired, you have to lay down. Not the false fatigue that you get, but this is real life exhaustion. Um, and he also is telling me, like, your heart is so pure, is so full of gold, is so full of light that it will destroy you if you don't monitor it. And in my mind, I was like, woo, how can you have too pure of a heart? Not saying that you're perfect, but most people who are like light energies, we're bubbly, we're exciting, we have optimistic attitudes, eagle like spirits. We think about winning even when we don't win and get with the results that we want. We still continue to press play and press forward and say, listen, no matter what happened, we're going to still be prosperous. The Bible tells us that we are abundant, that we are lenders, that we are prosperous, that we are healed. We believe all these things with all the fiber in us. So sometimes we have to monitor that heart. So God said, guard your heart. So I thought about this because he was reminding me, Jessica, everybody is not your friend. And I was like, okay, I get that because sometimes when I come in rooms, people automatically say she's too much, her standards are too high, her schedule is too, it's already jam packed with purpose and mother and friends and other obligations, my personal practices, physical activities, sleep regimens, all of those things. So, sometimes people just say, it's just a little too much for me. And I respect that. And I understand that when you are doing your father's business, people are not going to appreciate how you don't have time that you had before to squander away because you're so invested in your purpose. So God wanted me to get on here to remind you, just like he was telling me, listen, everybody's not going to be your friend. And when he said guard your heart, it doesn't mean to be fearful. It doesn't mean to wander around and wonder if everybody's out to get you. It's not meant to live with that type of guard. But when it says guard your heart, it's meaning just to be mindful. When we speak about guarding, it's not to present fear and say, something bad is going to happen to me because I am working for my father. I am being righteous. I am treating people fairly. I am having an optimistic attitude. Just because those things are happening in your life and you're making good character choices doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen. So the scripture that he gave me immediately that came to mind was Isaiah 54:17, and it says, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So when we're thinking about guarding your heart, God is already going to protect you. Me and another Blessed Tribe member was talking about, I plead the blood of Jesus over my body, over my house, over anything connected to me. So you're already protected. So don't worry about having to, worry about people that's doing malicious things intentionally to harm you. God is already going to deal with those people. Those battles are not yours. But this is thinking about ways to guard your heart that you can control, choices and decisions and locations that you go that you are in control of. So immediately already know that no weapon formed against you is going to prosper. You're protected, you're good in that area. But everybody doesn't want to see you win. And that is hard to accept as a nice person, as a light spirit, as somebody who wants everybody to win, everybody to be comfortable and abundant around them. Listen, everybody don't want the same thing for you. And if you're not careful to guard your heart, you will allow certain things to happen to you and to play out in your life that does not deserve to be there. It's not qualified to be in your life. When you're on your jobs, and I just kind of jotted down some things to help me remember, because like I said, I got it late. And God will work with you, give you downloads even when your body is tired, your mind is tired, you're exhausted, your body is having pain. He doesn't care about none of that. Press play anyway, okay? So I had to get my journal and I had to write down these things while they were fresh on my mind. So when you're on your jobs and you see people who may not be happy for you when you get elevated, that is because this is one of the people that you would have to, types of people that you would have to guard your heart with, meaning that they don't want to see you win. They don't want to see you doing better than they are doing. And it's because they don't know the situation that you and God got. They don't know what he's telling you to do, how he's telling you to press play, what you've had to do to get that elevation that they're seeing. They just think that you just woke up like that and you received it, not knowing that you had to go through hell fighting tooth and nail to get to where you are and to grab everything that you deserve from the angelic world. They don't see that. All they see is that you just arrived. And we all who work hard know that that's not true. And some of your friends may not be having the best intentions for you. So you may have to guard your heart, guard some of your dreams and aspirations and goals from these people. And it's only the types of people who give you that energy. Like God was telling me, watch your body emotions when you're around certain type of people. Listen to your body. That's what he was training me with last night when I had to lay down against my will because I had so much stuff to do. He said, no, listen to your body. I'm training you up in the way that I'm wanting you to represent my kingdom. And you can't represent my kingdom exhausted and not knowing when to use your discernment and look around to say, hey, something's not right. Something's not flowing in the right flow of how it needs to go for me to be able to operate in this space. So when you feel your friends' energy get weird, when you get engaged, when you get married, when you have children, when you purchase homes, get a new car, get elevated on your job, your skin just begins to flourish, your weight begins to go down, you're happy, you're bubbly, you are just freshly out of that marriage, freshly out of that toxic relationship. And when certain people are not happy for you, they're saying, hey, I think that you should stay wandering around in the wilderness. I think that you should stay depressed and unhappy. Those are people who you have to guard your heart with. They are not wanting the best things for you. Another thing that he gave me was family members. Sometimes family members may not be ready to receive that you are the chosen one in the family. You are the divine person that God is going to use to elevate the family. You're going to be the first millionaire. You're going to be the first successful business owner. You're going to be the face that represents the Perry and the Harrington and the Kearney lineage. Some people may not be ready for that. And I want you to put your names that you represent, your ancestors that you represent with the purpose that you're doing. Everybody may not be ready to accept your business as a new hairstylist, as a new entrepreneur, far as, you're starting your mental health business. You're starting to take clients to do nails and eyebrows and architecture or whatever your gift is. Whatever you're beginning to press play and do in this season, your family members may be the first people to say, who does she think she is? Why does she think she's qualified? How does she think she's articulate enough to press play on a video and get 1 million subscribers or more? How do they think that they are, good enough to do such and such? That is not your business to try to encourage and persuade people that you're the person that's qualified to do the thing that God is telling you to do. You just have to press forward anyway and guard your heart around these type of family members. Like, be aware, be more conscious around people who give you negative energy, negative vibes, and who are not supporting you in your godly mission that you know that this is what you are birthed in this generation to do. And some ways, if you do not guard your heart against these negative, dark, adversary type of people, which are considered like the ops, if they're not for you, they're against you kind of situation. If you fail to be conscious about these type of spirits and these type of connections that you may have, for one, you're not going to be able to prosper around people who are constantly preying on your downfall. They're constantly sowing negative seeds and discord in your life. They're constantly, trying to disrupt your marriage, disrupt your kid flow, your routine. They're questioning your every move. You're not going to be able to prosper in your mission and satisfy them too. You can't do both. So while you are monitoring and guarding your heart, if you don't do it, it could eventually lead to a mental breakdown. When I did not guard my heart, this is a teaching moment. When I did not guard my heart and didn't even know to be conscious to guard my good heart, I was in an abusive situation for a long period of time. I made mistakes, but it was not healthy. And eventually I knew that something was going wrong, because when I tried to drive one time, my vision got blurry. It was like telltale signs that, okay, you're having like anxiety or, depression or panic attack or whatever. I couldn't see clearly while I was driving, and I thought maybe I needed glasses. So I would put my glasses on and it would be like a fog over my eyes that I couldn't see clearly. So eventually I went to the doctor and they're like, okay, you're severely depressed. You're like on the brink of having a mental breakdown. And this basically came after I had a mental breakdown, after leaving the relationship, feeling like a fish out of water, giving somebody all of my power, not knowing how to operate and continue to, keep my health in a good place, had become codependent on somebody from a young age. All of these things, if you do not guard your heart, you may be caught in a situation similar to mine. You may be depressed, you may be sad, you may begin to use substances where it's not just a casual, oh, it was 4th of July and I turned up for one night. It wasn't a casual, it's not like a substance abuse, it's not a casual thing like that. It is, you need it in order to survive. You need it in order to eat. You need it in order to not have an emotional breakdown and cry all day. You need it to get out of bed. You need this outside force outside of you and God in order to function. So you may, if you don't guard your heart, you may get caught up in situations like this where you become severely depressed, you have anxiety, you worry all the time if this person leave you or if this thing happened, if you lose that job, or, you're constantly worrying, your mind is racing. So if you are not guarding your heart, people will, make you feel things. Like I said, things will happen in your life that were not designed for you to go through. You will be putting up and tolerating with things that you're just like, I can't even believe I put up with that. So when you're failing to guard your heart, you can get into toxic situations. That's the moral of the story. And you may begin to use substances. And also, you may have low self-esteem. Low self-esteem meaning that you don't have proper boundaries set. You let people talk to you crazy. You accept things that are less than your value. It's not like a building stage. Like you think this is what you deserve. So you sit there and you take it. You also have no backbone. You don't speak up for yourself. You just say, hey, I'm just going to be the nice girl on the block. I'm just going to go with the flow. You don't let people know that you just went against my core value when you did that. You just, dishonored my inner core when you did that. Not little petty things like, oh, you forgot to hold the door for me. Oh, you didn't say good morning. Oh, you didn't bring me coffee. You didn't give me my paper first when you gave everybody else their paper, nothing petty like that. But when somebody goes against your core values, like they just use profane language with you in a job setting, in a business setting, or, even in your personal relationships, and it wasn't like a, hey girl, joking type of situation. It was, making you feel bad. You can say something about that. You can say, listen, I watch, my tone when I'm talking to you. I use respectful words when I speak to you. So even if you're angry, even if this isn't an appropriate time for us to talk, when we do talk, I would appreciate if you didn't speak to me in that way. And people are not going to like you. That was why I started with No Weapon Will no weapon formed will prosper. People are not going to like you when you have boundaries, when you have set standards, when you say, listen, I would not no longer tolerate this low minimum unqualified behavior in my life. I will not tolerate this, this treatment. People are not going to like you when you have standards, when you have goals, when you have ambitions, when you have your own train of thought of how things should be done, when you begin to press play in your business and you begin to take your time more precious and things like that. People are not going to appreciate this. People have been able to dishonor you for so long as you have failed to guard your heart and speak up for yourself. Keep yourself away from toxic people and toxic relationships that no longer serve you. While I was before I got on here just now, I was lighting an incense, and the incense just kept going out. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I let the window up. So when I come back over there for the second time, it went out again. God say, listen, stop trying to make all that dead stuff work. Throw that incense away, light a fresh one. So the same thing that he's telling me in the spirit with that incense, the same thing I'm telling you on today. Allow God to give you a fresh outlook. Allow God to allow you to reintroduce yourself to your family, your friends, your business partners. You have allowed people to dishonor you when you didn't know the knowledge of how to guard your heart. You were not awakened and aware and conscious about these things, and that people really didn't want to see you in. You thought everybody wanted to see you in because you have that heart of genuine love and genuine support. So you thought everybody in your circle and in your life and in the world is like that. As an empath, sometimes you get delusional. You think everybody's for you, but people will harm you. People will take advantage of you. People will, press their motives off on you and their limitations off on you just because they don't have the confidence to press play, just because they don't have the confidence or did not get the download from God or allow him to come in to tell them what to do. They're still wandering around in the wilderness, and they're mad at you because you actually are beginning to take steps forward to be the person God birthed you to be. Listen, you're going to have to accept that everybody is not going to want to see you win and prosper. And pay attention, slow down, start doing just visual observations. The more you're quiet, be slower to speak and slower to get angry and quick to listen. The more you begin to embed that into your heart and your spirit, you will see stuff. Holy Spirit will reveal stuff to you, and you'll say, wow, I've been missing it because I've been over talking, overcompensating, and just allowing everything just to flow. So that's why I created this video, because I felt like it would be good to give you guys information on, what does God mean when he say guard your heart? What will happen when you do not guard your heart? And now we're going to transition to what is going to happen. What are ways that you can monitor your heart and guard your heart to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, you're well, and you are inviting all of those new experiences, those new blessings and new knowledge and new character traits that you are going to have moving forward. Now that you are aware. Don't say you don't know that everybody's not your friend. Don't say that you did not know that all those coworkers are not going to like you. Do not say that you did not know that every family member is not for you. So it's very important not to go, just jazzing off with all of your future goals and your future aspirations, because people will throw nuggets out there just to keep you in a space of lack, in a space of no confidence, no boundaries, and no happiness. So some positive things you can do to guard your heart. Now, this is what the video is really all about, not the negative, but I did want to inform you about the negative, because sometimes when you're so full of light, the darkness can just creep up on you, and you're like, where did you come from? Because you're so focused on the good in people and situations. So God say, listen, just like that incense, throw that thing away. Throw those old ways, those old traditions, those old habits, those old low expectations, those old, throw all that stuff away that's no longer serving you. It's not working for you anyway. You may be in an abusive relationship, toxic relationships with your romantic partner, with your friends, with your family members, with your kids. You may be already in this, but it's not working for you. God does not have you to be depressed, have you, so full of anxiety that you can't see, having a mental breakdown, just because you separated from somebody, becoming so codependent on other people. Those are not ways that God have you to live. So if you're experiencing any of those toxic things that I just talked about, or things that are not serving your higher good, God say throw them away on today. Allow the new and the fresh breath of his spirit to be invited into your life, okay? So positive things you can do to guard your heart is to say no. I was just doing a life coaching session with another Blessed Tribe member, and I gave her this tool. I actually made a whole video about ways to say no, and I may do it again just to refresh your memory, okay? So say no, even if you are available, even if you have the resources, still say no, because that programs people around you, your coworkers, your business partners, that you are not always accessible, that your resource or your gift that you have is not always going to be accessible to them. Be very particular about where you go, what courses you invest in, how long you stay places. This is going to help you understand how valuable you are, so that you can get your mental rest, so that you can have your downtime. You can actually focus on things that you want to accomplish in your house. People may say, well, what are you going to do if you're not going to come? Nothing, or journal, or, sleep, or take a spiritual bath. I'm going to go exercise. I am going to do something that I choose to do, not something that is going to benefit you. What my professor in college always said, her name was Dr. Austin. She wasn't a doctor at the time, but I already know that she completed her program. But Dr. Austin at North Carolina Central University, she said that your emergency is not my urgency. So just like how, when your computer crashed and you got an assignment to submit, that ain't her problem. You waited to the last minute. Just like how other people want you to do what's best for them and not what's best for you sometimes. If you're not guarding your heart, you may be caught in situations like this where you're overcompensating, you have overextended yourself, and now you're tired, you are exhausted, and you don't have enough energy to handle your own affairs, your own business, and your own gifts. So listen, don't let other people be able to just push your schedule around. You are in control of your schedule. Saying no will help you get your power back. Not to dismiss anybody else and what they have going on, but you just can't be at every hog killing, as they say. And that saying just means that you're not going to be everywhere and be able to be accessible to everybody. You have to literally become Beyonce in the spirit. Beyonce can't be everywhere. She can't go to every function. She's not going to be able to do her gift at the intensity and the productivity that she does it if she overextends herself or spread herself thin, So think about it in the spirit. Like I always say, get your spiritual ears on, okay? So saying no is a way that you can regulate your schedule, have more time to do some of the things that you desire. Make time in your schedule to press play and do some of the things you want to do. And get so involved into your purpose that you really genuinely don't have time. But saying no will help you get into the rhythm of making more time for yourself. Because as a nice person, as a angelic, light spirit, as a giver, as an empath, as a servant of the kingdom, you're naturally going to want to say yes. But then when the day comes, you're going to say, why did I commit to that? What part of me said that I wanted to sign up for this? Knowing I got emails, I got clients, I got physical activity, I got assignment, I got to record, I got all this stuff to do. Why did I commit to that? So, you can say things like, I'll get back to you after I check my schedule. And when you're getting into your purpose, you already know your schedule. Your schedule is packed of doing what your Father birthed you to do. And you're going to be able to get enough revenue to support everything you need to do. So you may not be able to physically be there, but you may be able to send a monetary donation or support towards events that you really care about, but you just don't have the the time in 24 hours to be everywhere and be everything to everybody. So don't feel bad when you gotta say no. People will be able to see the fruits of your labor. They'll be able to see that you carved out time to really produce that video. You took time to really create that book to become an author. You really started that educational program, and you don't have time because you're so busy with becoming the woman or the man that God birthed you to be. So get so involved in your purpose that you don't even have to really extend a no. You just say, oh, we know she got stuff going on. She's not gonna be able to make it. And then when you are able to make events, people are going to appreciate your presence. They are going to love up on your energy, just you. They're going to feel grateful that you took out time out your schedule to be with them. Just like Beyonce, if she knocked on my door today, I know she's not a god, but she is a person of high influence. I would say, I am grateful for you taking time out your day to come and meet me, to honor me with your presence and your spiritual gifts. Okay. So the same thing with you. You have the capability of being the level of influence that another celebrity that you see has. He gave all of us the same rights and abilities and talents. So don't think that life is only for them. It's for you too. So people should be honored when they are in your presence. People should be honored and grateful that you took the time out of your day to celebrate a wedding, to celebrate a home, home purchasing. What is it called? Your home owner's housewarming. That's what it is. Like if you invited someone to come to their house, your house, or whatever, they invited you to come to their house to celebrate them purchasing a home, anything, a graduation, just, a girl's brunch. You are the prize. And it's your spirit. It's your Holy Spirit that comes with you everywhere you go. So don't feel like you have to just omit everything that's important to you to please other people, because you are also valuable. And becoming a mom taught me this skill of prioritizing my own wants and needs and desires and aspirations, because I physically couldn't wrap my baby up really quickly and get to house, to gathering and function to function and, event to event. When you first become a mom, it teaches you how to slow your life down. It teaches you how to live in the moment and take it a little easier. You can't just be busy without feeling that pressure of, I need to sit down, I need to rest, listening to your body. So that is one of the experiences I had to teach me how to, even out my schedule, because as a mom, I couldn't move around and be everywhere and be everything to everybody. So that one came to me by force, but also I put more boundaries and expectations and, spread myself a little thinner. When somebody invited me places, I couldn't be everywhere. So I had to say no. Even now doing the business and working on assignments and doing certain stuff, being a mom and physical activity and press and play and, having time to eat and shower and do everything. I can't be everywhere with everybody. But when I do show up, my family, my friends, everybody who I consider highly qualified people, they are so just happy when I am in their presence. So you need to get into other people company, and you value other people company, their time, their space, their energy, their houses, everything that they give you access to. They also are equally valuable as you are. So you be just as humble and just as excited and just as thrilled when they offer their, one-on-one time with you, because really time is money. So, and it's not always monetary, but it's more like in the spirit. You guys speak to one another spiritually. You guys encourage one another spiritually as well. And lastly, ways that you can guard your heart is to speak up when someone does something that, that offends you, that goes against your core values. Say, hey, that really dishonored me when you yelled at me. I don't like when people yell at me. So either I'm going to say, hey, this is not appropriate time to talk, or I'll tell that person at one time about something that bothers me, the core of me. That means I'm being dishonored to myself and not having integrity to myself if I allow this person to do this thing to me. if I tell a person that that thing bothers me, that's my standard, those are my boundaries, and that person does not respect my boundaries and my standards that I've set for myself, I will remove myself from that situation. I will remove myself from that place, that individual, and it's my right to do that. So as you guard your heart, don't feel bad when you have to eliminate people from your life. Wish them well, love on them from afar, pray for them, but they do not have to have access to your immediate emotional wellness. They do not have the right to dishonor you over and over again at your expense. You have the right to say, no, that's not going to work for me. No, I'm not going to be able to make that gathering because, in your mind, you're like, last time I went there, the energy was off. Last time I told my friend I got a promotion, she ain't say nothing. So, start moving around accordingly. Remember that you are a light energy. You are a highly qualified person. Anybody that sat and watched a video for 30 minutes about how to guard your heart, you are eagle spirit. You are one of those people that is in the blessed tribe community because you know that God has better for you. He has abundance for you. He don't want you to be depressed, having anxiety, having on the brink of having mental meltdowns, using substances and all of that stuff. You know that God doesn't want you to live a life like that. He's telling you through this video to guard your heart. Know that everybody doesn't want to see you win. Even when I was reading the scripture, I like to read about the author who write the books in the Bible just to get a connection with them, because we are supposed to use their stories in order to help us get through trials and obstacles that we're going to experience throughout our Christian journey. And when I read about Isaiah, it said that Isaiah was a prophet and he didn't have a lot of friends. So just know everybody's not going to like you. You're not everybody's cup of tea. Your business is not created for those people who are not supporting you. Your business are for people who are going to tune in, who are going to pay the value that you bring them, who are going to invite you to places and be grateful that you showed up, be happy about your presence. They are going to support your gift. They are going to believe in you more than you probably believe in yourself. You are going to inspire them to do their businesses, to share their ideas and dreams and aspirations with. You're going to be the first millionaire in your family. You are the person, okay? And I'm not just saying this to gas you up or to hype you up, but really God say, listen, Jessica, you have to get on here and encourage the Blessed Tribe members. Listen, throw all that dead stuff away, that stuff that's not working, the stuff that you trying to force to fit in this little environment. No. God say no. Take the top off, take the lid off, expand, say no, set your boundaries. All of those things that you allowed to happen when you were not guarding your heart, begin to take each step day by day to try to pull yourself out of that. Try to get into environments where people are going to encourage you and tell you things that they want to see you happy. They want to see you married. They want to see you prospering on your job. They want to see you having higher level of influence and education and access to resources that nobody in your family ever had before. Get in environments where people are encouraging you to jump off the cliff and do something that you've never thought you would be able to do. And one thing I wanted to remind you is when you begin to do this work, your body is going to reject it. Your body has been accustomed to this lifestyle for so long. You may feel some body pains. You may feel a little anxiety when God starts giving you all these downloads. You may feel like, you're vibrating high in the spirit. That's normal. That's why you need a life coach so you can talk these things out. That's why you need a journal so you can write these thoughts out. You may feel like an out-of-body experience, but it's only going to last for a short time. Don't let that keep you backslide into who you have been for so long. When you come out of all that darkness, you are going to feel like a fish out of water, but you will heal. You will get knowledge. You will get encouragement through videos such as this one. You will get a life coach or a mentor or a therapist, and they're going to help you work with your anxiety, your depression, your substance abuse, your need to be codependent to people. Can't sit in your own house because you don't want to hear your own thoughts. Can't sit down and create a 30-minute video because your mind is so cluttered with all the other foolishness you got going on. So I just wanted to get on and encourage you guys today. This is one of the lessons that I've learned when I was not guarding my heart. God reminded me, Jessica, even in this phase of your life while I'm about to elevate you, He told me already by the month of September, I'm going to be at another level. So I'm already preparing spiritually by investing in self-help courses, by investing in life coaching sessions and stuff like that, therapy sessions, journaling, whatever I need to do to get ready for September. God say, don't wait until September to get ready. You got to be ready now. You got to be preparing. So the same thing for you. In your next season, you're going to be elevating. So begin to prepare now. If you need a life coach, I'm available. My information is always in the description. I want to just let you guys know that I love you. I'm sharing these intimate details of my life, how God is using his the memory that he's using within me to bring forth these messages. So they are heartfelt, they are genuine, and I do want to see nobody else go through the same thing that I've been through, failing to guard your heart. But there are positive, small changes you can do that don't cost a dime. It just costs your mind to be focused and conscious about what's happening. So yeah, I just wanted to share these today, and I'm hoping that you found value in them. If you did, comment below. Let me know, Jessica, this word was on point. This was my word. This was me. This was my call to get out of the darkness. This was my urgent call to begin to stop allowing people just to treat me any type of way, not speak up for myself and advocate for myself when somebody go against my core values, things that, I wake up each and every day and promote and I live. So, just remember to just make sure that you know that you are important. You are valuable enough to say, no, I'm not going to be able to come. No, that's not going to work for me. Or yes, I'm sure I can make it. Thank you for the invite. And be very picky and choosy. Don't be trying to be liked by everybody. Because just like Isaiah, when you are a prophet, when you are a light energy, when you are wanting everybody to succeed, when you're doing what your Father tells you to do, everybody is not going to like that attribute about yourself. So already be prepared to know that nobody can't stop anything that God has for you. But if you have more information, you're more aware of how to combat it and how not to get yourself in those negative situations and feeling low self-esteem, no value, having no boundaries, saying yes to any and everything somebody asks you to do. And then when you get ready to do something that you want to do, work out or travel, you're just like, oh, I don't have any more time for my own personal things that I need to be handling. So those were all of my thoughts about guarding your heart. I'm hoping that you guys found value from it. Make sure you subscribe before you leave. And I'm going to be right back up here tomorrow giving you guys another mental health motivational word. Make sure you get over to Instagram. I am going to start putting more things on there. So y'all be slow with me with all the different media platforms that we have. I am a one-woman band at this moment. But God is already revealing to me he's going to bring me a team. So if you are great with technology, you're great with social media and all that stuff, begin to press play because I am eventually going to be looking for you. There's other people out there that's needing your gift. Press play on today, okay? I love you. I love you. I love you. Have a fabulous day, and I'll be right back up here tomorrow to give you guys another word. God bless.